Hi friends, this is Cheatin. Today I'm going to tell you how to divide by decimals like tens, hundreds, and thousands and more. So we have this question, 25 divided by 10, but we don't know what it is. We know like 40 divided by 10 equals 4, but 25 is not even in the tens tables. But I know how to solve it. So, for example, first we need to know the basics. So first, we're dividing by decimals, so we need to know what a decimal is. So decimal is like this. Have you ever seen these numbers? These numbers are exactly a decimal. This is the dot that separates numbers that are whole numbers that are incomplete and whole numbers that are complete. So on the left side, which is over here, is whole numbers. And over at this side, it is just like incomplete. I stands for incomplete whole number. Okay? So 2.5. So basically, 2.5 is a decimal. So that's what a decimal is. It can be like 3.24 and stuff like that. But we need to know how to simplify them so we can look at it at easier terms and we can find easier terms. For you, if it's like hard for decimals and stuff, this will probably be good. Even though we don't need that much decimals, I'm just going to explain it in this video. For example, I put 2.5. We can put a placeholder which will equal a placeholder which has no value. We can take it out, but if it's hard for you, we really need it right now. 2.50. So 2.50, so that equals 2. So this 50 is a half of 100. So we can say it like that. Like if you have 2-digit numbers, it'll be like out of 100. So 2.50 equals 50 out of 100. We can use the common, we just made it into fractions, see? Now we can take the zeros out to simplify it, which equals 5 over 10. Then we can divide both of them by 5, which equals 2 by, 1 by 2. So that's how we can do it. But in our question, we just need a placeholder. You're probably thinking what a placeholder is. I think I just said it, I don't remember, but let's go through it again. 3.030. This is a placeholder. Yes, it has no value and it's only zeros. But guess what? What do you think about this? Is this a placeholder? Yes, you're correct. It isn't. You know why? Since it doesn't have a value. So it doesn't have values. So basically, what I mean is we need this 0 because it's in middle of a number. It's in, like for example, let's think of place value. Tens, hundreds, thousands, 0, maybe not place value. So after a number, so this is what a placeholder is. If after the last digit of the decimal, it has a 0 and no numbers after it, that's called a placeholder. It doesn't have any value, but if you have a 0 in middle of the decimal number, you need to keep it because it still has value. It still holds the number, okay? So this thing over here, we need it. but we don't need this. Okay, let's get back to the questions. 25 divided by 10 equals something. And that something equals to what? Okay, so basically, we have to do the dividend. We have to make the dividend into a decimal. It's already whole number, so we can just put a placeholder after the decimal point. 25.0 divided by 10 equals. Okay, so now, as you know, we have to make the decimal 1, like, for example, 10 over here in the number after the dividend, 10, it has 10. So if it has 10, that means we have to make the decimal point jump one place to the left. Make sure if you're dividing, you have to make the number smaller. So if we move the decimal point to the left, it'll make it smaller. So now let's do that. We're dividing, and dividing makes the number smaller. So let's move the decimal point over here. And we don't need this because we're already doing it. So we got 2.50. But remember what I said with placeholders, that we don't need it. So we can cross this out. And this will be our answer. 2.5. So in this video, I'm just going to teach you how to divide tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Only numbers with zeros after the ones and no other numbers. Okay, now let's go through the same type of question but with 100. Like, for example, let me do 25 divided by 100 equals, wow! As you can see, 25 is bigger than 100, so it'll probably equal a decimal. Let's do the same thing that we did before. Make 25 into a decimal, 25.0. It doesn't have a value, but since 25 is a whole number, we can just put a placeholder. And then we can divide this by 100. How? Remember I said, depending on how many zeros there are, we have to do that many jumps. Over here, there are 2 zeros. So we have to make the decimal point move 2 times. Just a sec. Two times, which equals a dot over here. But we don't have a number in front of the decimal points. Don't worry, we can just put a 0 since the value is nothing. It's no whole number, so the answer will be 0.250. Is this the correct answer we need to put in? Are we done? No, we're not. We have to take out the placeholder in the right because it doesn't have any value. So the answer will equal to 0.25. Let me do it over here, 0.25. Remember, if we have any number like even a million or a number like this, and we have 25, and we have to divide it by this number, just a second, I'll just explain it very neatly. So if we have 25 and we need to divide it by 1,0,0,0,0, and it's hard, right? Don't worry. We have 25.0. Convert this, the dividend, into decimals. We don't cross out the placeholder right now. see how many zeros are there are. Because depending on how much zeros, if we, for example, there's 6 zeros, we need to move the decimal point 6 times. Over here we have 5 zeros. So we have to move the decimal point over here 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as we know, as I said, we put zeros if there's no number under it. But over here, oh no, there's 3 jumps without a number. Don't worry, we can just put a 0 over here. And don't cross it out. And remember, take out the placeholder. So the answer will be 0.00025. Remember, it only depends, no matter how big the number is, we need to convert the dividend into decimal points. And then if there are, for example, 6 zeros, we need to move the decimal point left 6. Like 6 places, 6 jumps, like I just did. And yeah, and remember, take out the placeholders. Subscribe, share, and click the notification buttons for more videos. And thanks for watching. See ya.